have in front of me here a high resolution external varifocal infrared camera. Now in terms of the specifications on it, it gives 650 TVL and has a range of 50 meters, and also it's IR, basically infrared, so in the daylight it can give full color photos, and in night time it can give sort of black and white imagery. Right, so if we look at the camera itself, we'll see that it's considerably bigger than the lower end cameras that we would stock in our range, okay? So this would be, you know, this could be used for professional applications. We've had guys who install this, say, for instance, for county councils, etc. So the first thing to know about the packaging and how it comes is that the actual cover that we have here is actually put on backwards, and it's done that way simply for ease of packaging, okay, and transportation. So we just rotate this around. We can just screw this down here, and all this is really doing is it's just giving a cover for rain coming onto the lens and a certain protection from the sun as well. Okay, so if we just rotate the camera around and look at the back, we'll see the camera here, and then we'll see the bracketries here with it and what allows it to be mounted. Basically, we could mount it on a wall or we can mount it from above. Okay, it can be used for both internal and external use. But normally obviously it's been used for external use. In terms then of tools that we can use with it here, we have an Allen key comes as part of this set of plugs and screws that are used for mounting this bracketry onto the wall. So if we just tilt this over here, you can see there's 4 corner holes here that we'd use for mounting it, okay? If we wanted to change the angle, we'll say it's set up right now from being mounted onto a ceiling, and if we want to have it mounted directly off a wall, we can make a decision here just to come in, loosen this off, and then lock it back in. Okay, I get mounted that way. So that's one thing. Now if we look at the actual leads that we're using with it, I'm just going to untwine them here. So basically what we have, I'll show it from here actually, is we have a 2.1mm power socket here, and also then we have a BNC connector. This takes in the power to power the camera, and this actually gives the feed from this camera, and we'll connect it in this case directly to a TV. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these, the box packaging and the information leaflet out of the way, and what first thing we're going to do is just going to take a power source here directly to it. Okay, so this is just a 2 amp 12 volts, so it's more than enough to power this. So what we'll do is we'll come along and we just connect in the power. So at this point here we actually have power coming onto the camera itself, okay? And what we need to do now is take that imagery and run it directly to the TV. So what we're just going to do is come along, rotate it and connect it in. Hopefully you'll see then anyway. You know, it's too focused in, but you can see anyway, there's a very high resolution picture for myself. And if we just turn it around here, we should be able to just focus onto something over here. So we'll see it actually gives very, very good focus there. If we just look at the base of the actual camera itself here, what we can see here is that we have an adjustment here that would, once again, we'd adjust with this here, and it's basically zoom and focus that we can adjust here. So we can change the angle in terms of how far out we're going to spread it or how focused we're going to be. But so with a camera like this, something very common would be you come along, you want to get a high resolution picture on a particular area. So what you do is you could focus it on a particular doorway. So you'd narrow down the actual focus there and you'd zoom right into the thing, so you'd be able to get very good high resolution pictures with it. Okay? Now another feature of it is that it's actually IR. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to do what is not a particularly brilliant experiment, but I can give you a certain idea. We have a cardboard box here. I'm just going to pick up the camera. I'm just going to move it in, and I'm just going to try to focus to what's in this box here. Okay, so you can see the daylight here, we have a picture and all the rest of it. So I'm just going to try to do is just close it over somewhat. It's not really ideal. What we're trying to do is simulate a certain amount of darkness here. But we can see here that it switches from colour over to a black and white picture here. And it just means that at night time, if we were using it, we'll say to focus on a particular thing, it's capable of giving a good black and white picture. So that's it. It's an overview of the high resolution external varifocal infrared camera that's available on the tvtrade.ie website.